College is often regarded as some people's favorite part of their life. However, college is also one of the most stressful experiences a young adult will face. All of their time split between studying, socializing, and stressing over classes can leave many people in a bad mood or with a weakened sense of mind.
I personally like to have a good, active social life. I like to be involved in a lot of things because that's just who I am, and it really takes away from schoolwork sometimes. It's made me a lot more stressed out than I need to be.
Because, I mean, sometimes I might want to go, hang out with friends or go talk with people or go grab some food with friends or something, and sometimes I gotta push that away. Yeah, but stress level, sometimes if I do go through with that and I have something to do, then the stress will be pretty bad.
I would say that balancing those two things is quite challenging.
Okay, so would you say that causes you any unnecessary stress putting most of your time into school?
Mm-hmm.
Well, since I got into college, it's affected it a good bit. I've never been a social person. Even now, I'm still not. And with college coming into play, I've kind of gotten in ruts at times that I haven't been in. So I've just kind of had to fight through it and just, keep pedaling my bike up this steep hill.
The students interviewed in this film cover a variety of majors, lifestyles, and ages at the University of West Georgia in Carrollton. From my interviews, an overwhelming majority of those asked say that their school life has affected their stress and mental health. The National Alliance on Mental Illness states that more than 50% of students have experienced overwhelming anxiety that ultimately leads to their academic success being inhibited. Coping mechanisms are the strategies that people often use in the face of stress or trauma to help manage pain or difficult emotions. I asked students how they coped with their stress from school, and they answered many different ways.
A big stress reliever is just doing the work and knowing that what I'm stressing about is getting done.
When you started school, you had stress. So how did you cope with that?
Well, I'm the type that will just, if I have a lot of things stressing me out, I'll just go and try to take care of them as fast as possible and efficiently and not make it terrible, but, just take care of what needs to be done, and it kind of relieves the stress from me a lot, because sometimes I let small things pile up until I'm really stressed out, and that's just not good for me. So I try to take care of those things.
Most of the time it's listening to someone do a podcast or playing music and playing my instrument and just kind of mellowing out and forgetting about all the stuff that's going on.
Is try to refrain from, say, stress eating or something like that. And basically just taking time to subtract yourself from a scenario to not overload yourself, because that gets to be quite unhealthy at a point in time.
I either drum, go outside and run around for a bit, or I'll drum outside. I like being outside, especially in weather like this.
After learning how they dealt with their school-related stress, I changed the direction of questions to see how they felt about nature. In the English 1102 section instructed by Ashley Dycus, there is a focus on the relationship between nature and mental health. I used an article from the class written by BBC Earth commenting on a study done by the University of Derby in the UK. Over the course of the 30-day experiment, participants were told to do something relating to nature at least once a day, planting a flower, feeding birds, stuff of that nature. According to the research, there was a significant increase in people's health and happiness, and that change was sustained for months after the experiment. To see if this trend was consistent at West Georgia, I asked questions about how people are feeling about the changing weather.
I love it. A lot of what I wear is short sleeves and shorts.
Even in the winter?
Even in the winter. And in the winter it's kind of awful, but it's perfect now.
Just the rain really affects me a good bit.
I feel quite happy because now it's getting to be a little bit of a drier season. The atmosphere is able to hold a little bit of moisture, and it's not been as wet on campus as it was back there in this winter. So anyways, I'm very happy. But to break out the lighter clothes and not have to wear as much rain attire as I have this semester.
To explore further into the University of Derby's study, I continued to ask students if they believed that nature was good for their stress or mental health. To finish off this documentary, I'm going to be putting those interviews over video of nature that you can find in the Carrollton area.
Yeah, definitely. I think the weather affects everybody's mood in some aspect. The weather is just plays a big factor in how we feel throughout the day.
So you could say that, in your opinion, the weather being nice and like all the trees being out and blooming helps your stress?
Yes.
Sunny skies is a direct correlation to being optimistic, and and all the dark gray days and being pessimistic. So anyways, and I try to keep my skies sunny and stay optimistic.
So through the interviews and through the research that I've done throughout this class, I can definitively and confidently say that nature is good for students dealing with stress and anxiety. Thank you for watching my documentary, and please give me a good grade.